All right, all right, all right, all right. Hello, hello, hello. How are you? This is the Positive Forces Show. Always giving you more, sending you positive
to
vibes.
change your
I'm
lives.
your host, Kimon Hall.
And I'm your co-host, Yola.
So
Hmm.
good.
Good, good.
Oh boy. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means, y'all. I
It
don't know
means
if she's that great. I don't know what. Talk to us. How
it
does
means it means good.
you just good
It means
today?
good to go.
Good to go.
Hmm.
Okay. All right. All right. How was your week?
Um, there was some drama this week at
Really?
work. Yes, there's a bit of drama. Um, I don't know that it's resolved yet. I stayed out of it, and the rest of the week was smooth. And then we were off on Thursday for Juneteenth. So we had a
Yes.
day off.
Yes. 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 Ding
And
ding ding
then
ding
Friday was a work from home day.
ding
So I did that. And then I went to sleep and woke up on a Positive Forces show.
ding. Mhm.
Always bringing you positive vibes to change your life.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. That's good. That's good. That's good.
How was
That's
your
good.
week?
My
Still
week.
on vacation.
Yes. 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 So I'm still on vacation, doing my thing. Still doing schoolwork. Still doing work. Remodeling my home a little bit, getting things back together. My mom's here visiting from New York. Shout out to mom,
Shout out,
Monica
mommy.
Ellis. Yes, she's here,
She's my
and
mommy too.
of course, and just chilling, just trying to take it easy. Thinking hard about going somewhere, but haven't thought it through yet if I want
Oh,
to actually do that. So, but
okay.
yeah,
Cool.
yeah, I figured that I should. Everyone's going out of town,
Yes, they
but I
are.
don't want to be like the Joneses. I just want to do my own thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I'm kind of just doing my own thing. So
Hmm.
pretty much,
Good. I
yeah,
like
taking
it.
it easy. Big up yourself, you choose radio listeners. Oh my God, family. How are you? How are you? How are you? How are you? Reggae Global listeners, guys, just want to say thanks for being with us each and every week. Pick up yourself, Ross Dugal, Marlon, DJ VJ Smiles, and the crew. And let's start out with prayer.
Okay.
All right, let's go.
Heavenly Father, thank you, Lord. Thank you for all that you do for us. Thank you, Lord, for guiding our steps. Thank you, Lord, for reminding us of what we're supposed to do. Thank you, Lord, for opening doors for us and closing doors that we are not meant to walk through.
Yes.
Lord, thank you, Lord Jesus, for always being there. Thank you, Lord, for navigating our lives, even though we don't know that you are the conductor of it. You are the potter, Lord, and we are just the clay that you are molding us. So, Lord, continue to mold us into what it is that you want us to be. Lord, continue to show us the way, continue to help us to grow. Lord, continue to help us to help others, love our neighbors as you want us to. I pray that we continue to stay close to you, Lord, continue to seek our path and relationship with you. And I ask, Lord, that you never let us go. I pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. That's what's up.
Mhm.
I love it.
Thank you.
Jack Trey, big up yourself, Jack. How you doing? How you doing? Thanks for being on with us. Status Network. Yes, yes, yes. All right. Let's see who else is on. Hey guys, let us know that you're here. Send a message, put it in the comments, give us a call. It's a call in show 404-916-5138. 404-916-5138. We're gonna be talking about getting to know your date tips. People going on dates and asking these questions about what's your favorite color and all that stuff. That's not necessary. I mean, it's necessary, but it's not a deep intellectual questions that people need to find out. And then I know Yola probably gonna say, well, it's the first date. It should be light. It should just be fun. But hey, some people are in the thing where they're like, yo, I don't want to waste no time. I want to know. Are we gonna be compatible? Are we gonna do this at least? Is this going to be a long term thing, or is just hey, we're just kicking it, right? So we're
Mhm.
going to talk about that today, and then we're
Okay.
going to do a game. if something is toxic or not. Dawn Bland, where you at? Or therapist? She's not here. Heading back to Florida, but that's okay. Hey, jump on anytime, Dawn, and answer some questions that I know people will have. So go ahead. You have a Yoli's thought for today?
You know what? No, I'm going to take a break because I really like this topic and
Okay.
I want to take all the time that we have to talk about it.
Really?
Yeah.
Beep, 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 beep. All right. Yeah, that's my sound effects, guys. Whatever. Don't talk about me.
I'm not. I like the sound effects. Shoot.
Claudette Brumfield.
My
Big
partner.
up yourself, Claudette.
We see you watching. We watching. We love you,
love you, love you,
honey
love you.
bunches.
Of oats. No, okay. So getting to know your date
Mhm.
tips. So we want to do that first, or do we talk?
Yeah, let's do that.
You want to talk? You want to start with that first? All right. So that's the thing. So let's talk about it. You said, I think you said it before. Like
I
first
say a lot
date,
of things.
first dates should be light. They should be fun. They
Yeah.
should just be, hey, we're just kicking it.
Yeah.
But should it be? Okay, and I'm under the notion. This is how I feel. Like even though it's the first date, yeah, I want to have fun. I guess my mindset has to be ready to either say, "Hey, I don't really want to be too serious with this person, so I'm just chilling," or if it's somebody I think as could be a potential, then I want to get to some serious topics while we're dining or doing whatever,
Mm.
right? So, do you think that should be the perspective? Going on the first date, thinking, hey, this might be a potential for something long term, or no, go there, have fun, and see where it goes after that.
Go there and have fun. It's a date. It's a date. It's a first date. And I think that at first date minimum, you should be able to know or find out if you guys are compatible in the things you like to do, or the way that you act. Maybe you're going on a date with somebody that's really goofy and he's too goofy for you and he just tells too many jokes. And all those jokes might just be nervousness, but you might be serious.
Mhm.
So, you might be an extrovert. You might be an introvert.
Mhm.
He might set a date to go hiking. You might detest bugs.
For
So,
sure.
go out fun, open mind,
Yeah.
and then you can see, well, will we have a second date? Right. And then if you're one that's dating with intention, right? And what I mean by that is not the intentions of having a good time, but the intentions of something long term, then maybe you could start asking, more in-depth questions. I find that the in-depth questions in the very first date is too heavy.
Mhm.
It's a first date.
Mhm.
Let's have fun
Mhm.
within reason.
Fun within reason. Okay. So, all right. So you don't look at it as wasting of a time.
No,
Being a-
because you can go on so many first dates.
Mhm.
Why not?
Mhm.
It's just a date.
Mm.
Now, I will admit there's some people that will go on a date and they've already had a fantasy island moment and you're already married, and that's for men and women. But I think you can even suss out that on the first date.
Mm.
If you're trying to keep it light, I'm talking from a woman.
Mhm.
You're trying to keep it light, and he's talking about, oh, so how many kids do you want to have? That's too much.
Really?
Yeah, that's too much.
Too heavy for the first time.
That's too much.
Mhm.
Let me see that, we can go on a first date and we at least like each other, to
Mm.
be around each other in the same proximity. Because the whole idea of asking me on a date, or not a woman asking, I don't do that. But the whole idea of a guy asking you on a date, I think is because he he has, number one, said, "Ooh, I feel like something, she's whatever." And you said yes. So you're like, "Ooh, yes, I think this could be fun. So let's go on a date."
Mm.
It's a first date.
Okay.
Unless it's a first date where you both say, you know what, before you even ask you out on the date, right? You're like, hey, well, I think this would scare people off. Hey, I'm ready to settle down. I'm ready to be committed and
No,
do all
not
this.
ready to be, but hey,
Right.
that's what I'm looking for. I want to get married in the future. Is that something that you would like to do in the future? The person might say, no, I don't never want to get married. and off the top, you're like, hey, well, we don't really need to have a date,
I
right?
think that's good for second date.
That's first date.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's a first date. Let's have
okay.
fun. Yeah.
Oh
Why
Lord.
not? We don't have any fun. You know what we do?
Uh-huh.
We set up all these expectations
True.
and we get bogged down in life and we don't have fun.
Mm.
Just plain simple fun. Go play golf, miniature golf,
Mm-hmm.
go on a hike,
Mm-hmm.
go on a picnic,
Okay.
go to the movies,
Mhm.
something fun. All those are fun things.
But what do you talk about? You still got to talk.
Yeah.
So you're talking about so you're talking about the
Hey,
things
this,
that hey,
yeah, go ahead.
what do you do? Typical what do you do questions? What do you do for living?
I kind of feel that on the
Is
date,
that
you
not even a
probably
first
should
date?
already know what the person does. Maybe not.
But okay, not necessarily.
Maybe not. Not necessarily. This guy might have seen you at the grocery store and had enough, courage to ask you out.
Hey,
Let's
no,
do
let's
that.
talk first.
So he doesn't
maybe
know. He doesn't know. You don't know what he does. He doesn't know what you do. But he just saw you in the grocery store and figured, you know what? I'm gonna ask her out.
okay. So it sounds
And
like
you said yes.
a good enough conversation, a really good introductory conversation should be had way before you decide, hey, we're gonna go somewhere and break bread together.
Yeah, I think
Right.
I think that
Right.
there's something that even if we went with the um, online dating scenario,
Okay, let's go
you
with online.
put stuff on there that
Mhm.
you like, and
Mhm.
I guess occupation and other things, right?
Mhm, mhm.
So the person that decides I'm a click on this person to see if we're a match already knows those things about you.
But some
So
people don't.
why not go on a fun date?
Some people are not like truthful on that.
Yeah, well, guess what? If you
Yeah.
decide to go on another date,
They just put it there like, oh, I just put it there because I just have to put something, or I'm in between jobs right now, or that means I'm not working right now,
I kind of
or
feel
I
like liars can't lie for long, I
no,
think
they
there's
can't.
some that can lie for a very long time.
6 months. After a while,
3.
3 months, right?
Yeah.
You can be consistent. All right, let's go. So I don't know. All right.
I think the first date should be fun. What do you think? You think that, like, what questions do you think should be asked on the first date?
It's gonna be deep. It's not gonna be
Superficial.
no. It's not gonna be what's your favorite color.
Yeah, I
Those are
don't think
things
it
that
should
we
be
can talk
that.
about on the phone.
Yeah, I don't think it should be what's your favorite color on the first date either.
Okay. All right.
I guess what do you do is fine if you don't already know.
Really? Wow.
I
Okay.
guess,
But definitely. Okay.
what does your day look like?
That's a good one.
What's your normal day look like?
Normal
Good
work
first
day
date.
or normal. You can say
Both.
normal work day
Yeah.
and a normal day on a weekend.
Yeah.
Typical weekend.
Yeah, typical weekend.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of things you like to do?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Good first date question.
Hobbies,
Yeah.
goals.
Yeah.
What are your long-term goals for both professional and I don't say marital, but relationship goals? Yeah, I see how it comes together. It's gonna
Mhm.
come in because you're gonna talk about goals. Hey, so what are you doing with your life? Like you okay? So you are an engineer per se. Okay, you're an engineer. Fine. Like, did you go to school? That's always a typical question. Did you go to college, or did which college did you go to?
Mhm.
How long do you think that you're gonna go back to school? Do you need to go back to school?
Do you like your job?
Do you like your job? Do you like your job? These are good.
I think these are good first date questions.
Mm-hmm. Do you like your job?
What do you like to do?
What do you like to do? Yeah. What is your relationship with your mom? If it's a woman,
Yeah, I guess we can talk
Ask-
about parents on your first date.
what's your relationship with your mom? What's your relationship with your dad? And then those are going to be very different because what if should we judge a man if he says he doesn't have a good relationship with his mom?
Yes.
And
I'm
then
sorry,
say-
guys.
And then say,
I'm sorry, guys, but the guys that don't have a good relationship with their mom,
yeah,
you need to fix that.
And they're
because
probably not good guys to the woman that they
yeah,
met,
because
right?
I know that it is going to rub off on her unless you can convince this woman
Mm-hmm.
that your relationship with your mom is not going to affect his relationship with you. I don't know how he's going to convince you of that.
Hmm. So what do you mean? So if he doesn't, what if he has a good relationship with his mom?
That's good.
Then what? Then what you mean by his relationship with his mom won't affect them?
Because I think that if you don't have a good relationship with your mom, you
Mm-hmm.
don't really know there are issues, whatever those issues are that you had with your mom are going to rub off on your woman. You're going to end up treating her that way. You're going to end up, whatever the issue is you have with your mom,
Mm-hmm.
I think will rub off on your woman.
Yeah, and it typically does.
It does.
Yeah.
So you either say, hey, I don't have a good relationship with my mom, but I've gotten help for it, or I'm continuing getting help for it. This
Mm-hmm.
is what I'm doing,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I think the same thing goes with women that don't have good relationships with their father. It goes the same way. I think sometimes we forget that yes, men and women are different.
Mm-hmm.
We think differently. Our body structure is different.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, we are still human.
Mm-hmm.
And there are things that happen to both men and women that might be um, that are the same thing and might affect us differently, but we're still human,
Right.
right?
Right.
So it goes both ways. Even women that don't have good relationships with their dad,
Mm.
or a dad that's absent.
Mm.
You might be looking for your dad
Mm.
in that guy. Or you might have seen your mom treat your dad like garbage,
Mm-hmm.
and you figured this is how you treat men because that's what you saw.
Right.
But really, you shouldn't treat anyone like garbage, man or
Mm.
woman. You should
Mm.
not have a harsh word to the person that you are with. And I also think that you shouldn't have a harsh word to the person you're trying to date if you're really trying to date this person. If you just
Mm.
trying to have a good time,
Mm-hmm.
okay, let's establish that.
Mm. Okay. So if they had a hard time with their, say a female had a, as you said, looking for a father figure, that's unconsciously done, or you think that's consciously done?
I think it's unconsciously. I don't know if it's consciously done. I've never spoken or met
Mm.
anyone that said, "Oh, I'm that out of her mouth. I am
Mm-hmm.
the reason I'm with this guy is because I want a dad." I've never heard any woman say that, right? It's usually
But
she
it's not the
doesn't
dad.
realize.
It's the protection. It's the daddy's girl feeling comfortable with it. With that, dad protects. Dad cares for her with the finances. And typically, a man is literally taking over the responsibilities of a father. I
Hmm.
mean, you when you walk down the aisle, the dad usually walks the woman, the daughter down and
To
say,
give
and
to a
to
man.
get, hey, I'm presenting my daughter to you. Now she's now in your care.
Hmm.
So the responsibilities, the role is now being placed from dad to husband to
Hmm.
be. So the responsibilities are there. Now the qualities that dad have might be the ones that she might use as a guide to say, okay, I would like my man to do this because my dad taught me to do this. My dad always took us out on, we always do daddy daughter dates, and we've done this, and dad holds the door, and dad pulls a chair out, and using that as a building block, or using that as a guide to say, hey, I know how I should be treated. So
I will say that when a father shows his daughter that,
mhm,
it is to show her how she should be treated by her future husband.
right.
It's not really, you know, I want to be with this guy because he opens the door for me. But at
Mm-mm.
least she knows that if that's what you're into, because
Mhm.
some women aren't, um, you want somebody that will open the door for you every single time. I don't think that means that, you know, I saw this in my dad. Maybe if it's I saw my dad do this for
Do
my
this.
mom,
Yeah.
that would be different.
Mm-hmm.
But I think a father showing his daughter those things are just how I think a man should respect you, and you should have these things in your husband.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's a little bit different.
Well,
Unconsciously wanting to, it's almost like the unconsciously wanting a father in your husband is more of, for example, um, I just had an
I'm talking about the
example.
characteristics, though.
Yeah, well, characteristics are the characteristics. I don't think is exactly what I'm thinking about when you're about subconsciously looking for a father because your father was absent in your husband.
Oh, okay.
I think it's more than that. It's not characteristics. Characteristics are just on the surface.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's other things deeper. I wish Devon was on. Deeper things that a woman that is trying to fill that void that her absent father um, created is different. I don't think it's characteristics.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Like
Well,
opening the door, just plain manners.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't think that's quite what she's looking. I don't think that's the hole that woman is trying to fulfill when she's looking for her father in a man. I think it's more than that.
Yeah. It'd be
Perhaps it's more, it's like, not feeling abandoned, maybe.
there you go. And that's the traumatizing thing that
Yeah.
always happens, whatever, to a young woman or a young man. And when it comes on to now being in a relationship, because how if dad wasn't there, then she feels, or abandonment could be a feeling that's there, and always wanted to cling onto the husband to make sure that he doesn't go anywhere. Like, where
That
are
he's
you
always there.
going? Like, oh my God, I want to always know where you are, right? Because I'm now scared that you two will leave, right? So that's exactly what I was referring to. So using the dad as a guide, using the dad as a buffer, using the dad as, okay, these are the things that occurred in my life when I was a kid, and I want to make sure that it reciprocates properly in my adulthood. I used to see my dad beat my mom. I used to see my dad um abuse my mom. Then it's wait a minute, I don't want that. I want to make sure that the things that mom probably did per se to cause dad per se to do what he did, even though we know that it doesn't justify it. You know, let me figure out what it is that I don't never want to trigger my husband, because I think that he might want to hit me too.
I kind of feel like there's nothing that you, as a woman or a man,
Mm-hmm.
should be able to do to trigger someone to hit you.
Mm-hmm.
I think that some women might seek something like that
Mm-hmm.
unintentionally and end up in that relationship because
Mm-hmm.
that's what they saw.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I find that I find that trying not to do things to not trigger your husband, who probably will never hit you anyway, is kind of some kind of inner trauma.
Mm-hmm.
That, and now you're not really being yourself, and you're walking on eggshells
Oh,
for something that might not happen at all.
mm-hmm. Okay,
That's stressful.
that is all right.
It's sad. Not sad from my perspective, but you, the person going through it.
Mm-hmm.
You're sad. You're depressed.
Mm-hmm.
You're walking on eggshells. You can't be yourself because you think that I might do this and that he might hit me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-mm. It's a horrible situation to be in, and if you're in that situation and you can't leave, try to find a way to leave, because nobody should be abused at all. Okay, or get therapy together and make sure somebody knows how you feel and what's going on. You must have a confidant, so that if anything can happen, especially if that person flips, it can become tragic, and you don't want to get hurt seriously, because you just didn't know how to get help or to remove yourself from the situation. All right. Lisa said, ask about their passions. If their whole face lights up, you got them hooked. Okay. So That's a question to ask about their passions. What are your passions? And okay, thank you, Lisa. I like that. That's good.
Yeah, I
All
like it.
right. Mm-hmm. What are the things you like to do? Passions versus hobby, right? So what are the things you really are passionate about, things that you desire to do?
Hmm.
Hopefully he has.
Hopefully,
He has some.
yeah, like
Yeah.
bird watching.
Bird watching is a good one.
Yes, I'm
Mhm.
passionate about bird watching.
Or miniature. A lot of people are into like miniature, making miniature objects now, and miniature homes and miniature
Oh, okay.
food, and that's a thing now. So that could be a passion, I guess.
Mm, yeah.
All right. Okay, that's good. So we talk about relationship. How's your relationship with your parents? All right. What do you value most in a relationship? You gotta ask that question on the first date, right, Yola? What do you value most in a relationship? So, yeah, if you're just joining in on You Choose Radio or Reggae Global, we're talking about getting to know your date, and these are tips that you can, questions you can ask. So, Yola is kind of on the side fence saying, "Hey, there's certain things you just don't need to ask on a first date. You should just need to let it be light and have fun." So that's why I'm asking. So go ahead, Yola.
And that's all I have. It should be light. You should have fun. It's your first date, you know? It should be fun
So you
within
don't
reason. So,
within reason.
asking that question,
Yeah.
what's the question
What do you
again?
value
What do
most
you
in a
value most
relationship?
in a relationship?
Mm.
Mm, yeah, that's too much.
That's too much on the first date.
Yeah, I think that's too much on the first date. I
Mm.
think it's too
What
much
y'all
on the
think,
first date.
guys? 404-916-5138. 404-916-5138. What do you, but okay. So your passions as
Hmm.
opposed to your values? So, but then your value,
It's
yeah.
too much.
So passions are
Your
okay.
passions, basically, what do you
What do you
like?
like?
What do you love?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's your
that's good
values.
first date material.
Right,
Now,
that's too heavy.
what is your what? I don't even know if I want to be in a relationship with you.
Right.
I don't know. I don't want to go on a
But that's why
first
you ask.
date.
But that's why you ask about values.
Yes, but it doesn't have to be on the first date.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be on the first date. It
Okay.
could be on the second date if
Okay.
you
So if you
guys
get
choose
that
to go on a
asked on
second
the
date.
first date, then what are you gonna think?
I have to give him an answer.
You don't think you're gonna answer?
I have to give him an answer.
Right.
But I don't like it, but I'll give him an answer. I can't be rude and not answer his question. I'm not gonna be like, I think that's too much for a first date.
Right. Right.
I'll probably give him back the same question. That's what most people do.
Mm,
You ask me a question, I ask you the same question.
yeah. Mm,
You know?
okay. All right. How about this one? Here's another one.
Hmm.
What attracts you?
What made you ask me out?
Wait, hold on. No. Forget that. I'll come
Okay.
back to that because I can't even read my own handwriting. Okay. I forgot what I wrote. Okay. Long-term goals. How about
Hmm.
long-term goals? What are your long-term goals? What are your long-term goals? What are your short-term goals? What are your goals for the future in the next couple of years?
Yeah, I guess that's okay.
That's good. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. You sure?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. All right.
We have to have some questions, right? So they won't be talking.
Yeah.
We just,
Okay. All right.
we just be
Good.
bowling.
Ding, ding, ding. So we got one. All right. All right. So what qualities attract you the most? Yeah. What qualities are you most attracted to in a person?
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. All right, guys. So, guys, make sure you got a pen and a paper.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you got your notes up on your phone, and make sure you put these questions in so that you can ask your man, not man,
Mm-mm.
and
No,
it
man.
ain't meant to be either.
The
Your
no, the
date,
guy you went on a date with, first date.
or the female, right? Ask these questions. Ask these questions. Reginald, how you doing, sir? Mr. Lewis, welcome, welcome.
For the
For always being with us.
Lisa said first date is just to see if you vibe together. That's what I'm talking about.
Keep it simple and
Keep it simple
fun.
and fun.
So wait,
Mm.
so Lisa, are you saying if I ask a guy, let's go back to the values, what do you think, Lisa? What do you think, Reginald Lewis Sr.? If I ask a man on his first date, what are your values in a relationship? Is that asking too much on a first date? Let me know. All right. So how about strengths and weaknesses? Like what are your strengths? Do you can you give me like five strengths that you have? How's that for first?
I don't know, only because this is supposed to be a simple and fun date. If you get all these questions out in the first date, what you going to ask in the future if you choose you want to continue this?
Then now in the future you elaborate. You go back, you say, hey, yeah, talk about your strengths. Hey, so how is that going? You talk about your weaknesses. Hey, have you been working on that? So you just now expound, you go deeper into it as you get into your relationship.
Simple, fun date.
Ah.
Simple, fun date. Can
Mm.
I even, do I even like to be around you? Can
look,
I like you?
look at Lisa's comment.
Lisa said, it's not a job interview, Kimon. Bam! Lisa for the win. My girl. Yes. I agree
Okay.
with you. It's not an interview. And
What? Wait
I
now.
have
But
been
that's the
I have
female's
heard
perspective.
before, I know, but I have heard before that
Mhm.
people go on dates and it turns into an interview.
Yes.
And some people don't want to go on an interview. I don't want to go on an interview.
No, but
I just want to go on a first date.
okay, it's a strengths word. So what if instead of saying what are your strengths or give me your strength, use it a different word like or the value or the thing or things that you're best at.
Oh gosh.
If I say you're best at, is that
It's
gonna
an
be it's still an
interview.
interview?
Those are interview questions.
Okay.
Now,
Let's see what Reginald said. Reggie says, no, that's not too much. That's a man's perspective.
so I'm
Yeah,
dissing you, Lewis.
we got
My
man
last
and
name is
female.
Lewis too, so I'm not dissing you.
No,
It's
no,
just
no, no.
that I guess some of us want the
So it
simple,
depends.
fun first date, and some
Mhm.
of us want to go for the jugular on the first date.
So do we now on the date? Do you say, hey, let's just make this light and fun? Do you have to establish that on the first date, or
I
do
don't
you say,
know.
hey, no, let's just talk? No holds bar. We're just going in and talk and get to know each other. Like, does that have to be established?
I don't know. I guess so. I think that is a very good point. I think that's a very good point.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's what you do.
Mm-hmm.
Say, hey, this guy asks you out on a date, and you go on the date and you establish what type of date it is. It
Mm-hmm.
just seems so complicated, but you establish
It
what kind
is.
of date it is.
Mm-hmm.
Are we just going for the fun, simple date,
Mm-hmm.
or are we going for let's just jump right in? Maybe.
I think if you say let's just jump right in, that puts a lot of unnecessary pressure on. But if it's a hey, no, it doesn't matter. I'm open. We can talk about anything. No, that's a lighter way of saying hey, nothing. We can talk. Let's we can get deep. We can talk.
Mm,
Especially okay. So if you're doing golfing outside and it's not you don't really have the room for that. But if
mm-mm.
you're sitting at a table and you've already had dinner and you're going through you've had you've had appetizer, oh my god, and you had a meal, and then you had the dessert. There's things you got to talk about. Like you can't like how much light stuff. I mean, I guess
I
it's
think there's a
gonna eventually
lot
go
of
deep.
light stuff that you can talk about, and
It's gonna
and I
go
think
deep.
even within the light, simple date, there's some parts that are going to be heavy questions, which
Yeah.
you can. I think there's a way to politely not want to answer a certain question on a first date.
Hey, I don't want to get to that,
Yeah, I
and it's
do.
okay.
I
Mm-hmm.
follow this one guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's a dating coach.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember his name, but I'm gonna look it up. And he gives great dating advice. You call him, get it, be a bit coach, all that stuff. And yeah, there's just some dates that don't have to be so heavy. It's not to be an interview process.
Okay, heavy to me would be like how much you earn. Have you ever been abused before? Like how was that? That's heavy stuff. Your divorce or so you were divorced, fine. Like what really happened? Like that's the heavier stuff. Those are things that you don't have to get into at the beginning at all. I think those are heavier things. Like who weighs that though? I think that you gauge it as you're in your on your date and you decide, hey, this if you're comfortable with answering that question and being vulnerable so early, then that's a decision that one has to make. But
Yeah.
I think that it's okay to ask because you have all right to ask. But then it's all right for the person getting the question to say, hey, yes, I'm comfortable with that question or not.
Mm.
Yeah. Well,
Lisa said, I'm not telling a stranger all my personal business on the first date.
Mhm.
Let me get to see if I even like you as a human.
We said
Did
that.
I not just say
We
that?
said that. You said that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do I, can I even being around you?
Mhm.
Do I even like you? Because like the first the first butterflies, the first excitement when someone asks you out,
Mhm.
it's the first excitement. You really don't know anything. And
Mhm.
you might want on the first date to still to see if I like this person.
Mhm.
You know,
Mhm.
so you need to be around the person.
Yes. But as you're around the person, you're talking, right?
Yeah,
So, right.
but I just think there's some questions like what this segment is that you don't
Too
need to
much.
ask on the first date that are
Yes.
just too much.
Yes. All right.
And the interview thing.
Okay.
No, it's just the
Uh,
first date.
No,
Let's just
I didn't say
have
interview.
fun.
Lisa said interview. Okay.
Yeah, but see, Lisa said interview because your questions are interview questions. That's why she said that.
They're deep questions that people need to know.
Not
Because
on the first date.
some people might think that, hey, I don't want. How do you evaluate if you want a second date then? Because I just had fun, and then you go on the second date, and you're like, we had fun on the first date, but now I'm getting to know your values, and I don't really like them. I'm like, oh my god,
That's
right?
fine. You got a date. There are so many people that don't get to go on dates.
Really?
You got a date. You had fun. Okay, second date comes around. You know what? I don't really like your answer for that question. So I'm out. That's the rough way. We're not going to do that. That's what you say in your mind, not what comes out of your mouth. Okay, fine. But you went on a date and you had fun.
Mhm,
There's nothing wrong with that.
mhm,
You know, like I said, when do we have a good time?
mm.
Do you always want to have a good time with your girlfriends? Do you always want to have a good time with your guy friends? Don't you want to just go out and have fun with somebody that's
Yes. I think though, I would have the most fun with someone once I've established certain things are out the way. I'm more comfortable,
okay?
right? So it's like, well, I know you have a decent job, so I know you're. And we talk about how you provide, and we talk about certain things. I think once those things are established, then somebody might feel more comfortable. If not, you're gonna have these lingering questions in your mind as you're on the second date, and you're like, "Well, is this a second date thing? Like, do I ask this question now? Is this too much? Like, do I wait for the third date? Is there even a third date? Right?" Like now you're starting to spend time with a person, and the questions that you really need to get answered
You
doesn't.
have the second, if you want, third, fourth date. I
Ah.
just
What y'all think,
that's just
y'all?
my
Do y'all think
perspective.
that's like
I
wasting
don't
time?
think that we should have an interview on the first date.
Hmm.
I think it should be simple and fun. You
Okay.
know, I think there's questions that can be asked that you don't have to answer,
Hmm.
that you can give an answer that is polite,
Hmm.
not evasive,
Yes.
but leave something to ask after.
All right.
I
Come on.
just don't think it's for the first date.
All right.
But Kimon thinks for the first date, you should go and ask all these questions or at least be open. And that's fine.
Depending on the setting.
That's fine.
Depending on the setting.
That's you can go
Depending on the
you can
setting.
play miniature golf and there's parts that you can stop and talk.
Yeah.
There
But then
are.
you're not gonna be like,
You
hey,
could go
see,
bowling
see, see,
and
that's
then sit down and take a break after you've done one game and talk.
yeah. It's different
So
though.
it's still there.
And it depends on the maturity level of the person that you're talking to. Because sometimes they'll start talking and the things will come out because if they too have a goal and they know what they want and they've been dating forever. They're like, I'm dating this person here. I date last week and I'm going on these dates. And it's like if I'm dated out. Like I'd really like to meet somebody that I feel comfortable with. I want to actually go on a second date, on a third date with them. Not that I'm pushing that person to become, um, you know, exclusive with,
Hmm.
but it's somebody that's like, hey, you know what? Like this is actually refreshing to actually be with somebody on another time, on a third, fourth time, and know that we might be we like each other. We might be compatible, and we might have
I just
something.
don't see why you have to do that on the first date.
Okay.
I just don't see it. I'm sorry, guys.
All
I
right.
just don't see it. Why there has to be that way on the first date.
All right. All right. Here's another question.
Hi,
Biggest.
Steven.
Hey,
Shout
Steven.
out to Steven.
Big up, Steven. Steven Hill.
You should give us some comments, Steven.
Steven, we want to hear you. Is Steven local
Getting
in the
no.
US?
Yeah, he's in the US.
Okay.
Getting to know your date tips, like
Steven, give us a call.
what kind of questions should you ask on a first date? Should it so my perspective is
Ask Steven
simple
to
and
give us a
fun.
call.
Okay.
404 404 Steven 916 5138. Steven, we are waiting for you to call because Yola said that you were going to be a great person to talk to. Did you say that?
A while ago when we were going to have our guys
See?
panel,
There you go.
which we didn't have, but we will have
Come
it
on,
because we do
Steven.
like hearing from the guys and what you guys think in your perspective.
I
And
hope where you are is good in terms of not being too loud. All right, let's see.
Reginald says dating is serious business. Don't waste time. That's one for Kimon. Oh, two.
Ding 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 ding. Very good, Reginald. I love that, Reggie. I thank you, sir. Yes.
I have no
Yes.
comment for that. None whatsoever.
None.
Mm-mm. No.
Okay.
I
Here
think
we
I've
go.
established what I think.
Okay. 404 916 5138. 404 916 5138. All right. Here's another one. What are your biggest disappointments?
I don't know because
Okay.
your disappointments might be huge and something that requires you to be vulnerable with someone that you don't know on the first date.
Mhm.
This in the first date is a stranger,
Mhm.
unless you're on the first date with somebody that you've known for a long time, is your friend,
Mhm.
knows things about you and stuff like that. But I think for a first date, that's requires a lot of vulnerability to
Mhm.
say what your disappointments are. Your disappointment might be that you wanted to have kids and you can't.
Mhm.
That's huge. Your disappointment
Is
might
that is
be
that something that should not be said on the first date? That part, that route, that exact answer. I want to have kids and I've never had any. Is that too much?
um
And then that might open up a
it might
conversation.
it I think
Do
that
you want to
that
have kids?
I think that that for some people is very painful, and it opens up a wound
Mm-hmm.
when you have to admit that you want to have kids but you can't, because then it goes into, well, why couldn't you have kids, what happened,
Can't
and that
and chose not to is different
yeah,
though.
well, regardless, can't or don't want to, and why, is one that requires more explanation that you might not want to get into with person on first date. Stephen had a comment. You can even do a civil engineering review of sedimentation, sanitary, and underground water line pipe review, and in between the review, still take a little time. But come on, I have to agree.
Oh my God, that is
I have
funny.
to agree with Yola. Keep it light on the first date. Thank you, Stephen. You can do
That
all
is
this
funny.
stuff.
Wow,
Mhm.
see, did you
I
really
still
like
talk a
type all
little.
that?
My guy.
The question is, why are you dating? What's your expectation? Exactly, Reginald. What what is your expectation? Why are you do you want some people have literally dated so many times, have gone on so many dates that they're just like,
Sometimes you have to kiss a lot of frogs.
To find the prince or
and
the princess.
toads. And again, I'm going to end with reason. I mean,
Okay.
you have to have a boundary.
But you say
You're
that.
going to date
But
on.
you,
You're going to first date all these people,
yeah,
and none of them have piqued your interest enough to say, you know what, I like this guy. He
it's
is
possible.
whatever.
It's possible. It's very possible.
Mm,
Picking the wrong people then, right? To go
yes.
out with. Yeah.
Yeah. Then you need to pull back and say, you
Hmm.
know what?
What am I doing wrong?
What? Yeah. Now it's not a who you going on a date question, first date, whatever.
Hmm.
Now it's an internal question.
Hmm.
What am I doing? Why am I continuing to pick this person,
Hmm.
this type of person?
Hmm.
Why?
Why am I attracting these
Yeah.
kind of
Why
people
am
that
I
I'm not
attracting
interested in?
this type of person?
Hmm.
Or like last week when we had our BTS, and I made the comment that I think all of these good men that
Mhm.
say they can't find a good woman,
Hmm.
and all of these good women that say they can't find a good man,
Hmm.
have all these crazy expectations, and they're not really talking to each other. They're doing this, and they're getting hurt.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. All right. We're gonna switch out a little bit. We're gonna
Ooh,
switch out a little bit
what are we
into
doing now?
if something is toxic or not. All right. So we're gonna switch out our segment. We're gonna talk about toxic
Oh,
or
about the
not segment.
toxic.
All right. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So now you're with your man, and you said, okay, I'm not gonna give too much context. I'm just gonna give
Okay.
the scenario. I told him to give me his phone password.
Hmm.
I'm gonna switch. I want to give him my phone as well because I want to see what's in your phone. Is that toxic or not?
Okay, wait. Say it one more time. Because I saw Reginald's comment. Just say it one more time.
Okay.
I did want to say something about that, but we'll come back.
No, we already passed it. So go to Reginald number 5.
Okay, so Reginald's comment was keep it light on the phone calls. When we go out, we're at the next level.
You're at the next level when you go out. See, there you go. Get it all out on the phone when you go. See, there you go. I agree. Ding ding ding. You agree?
Mm-mm.
No, she doesn't agree with it. She doesn't agree, Reggie. All right, all right,
But
all right.
of course, that is also like online dating.
On the
It's
phone.
like, yeah, yeah. I think it's kind of like online dating in a way because like the show I just saw, the Never Ever Mets. These
Okay.
people have been online dating, talking on the phone for months, years. I mean, long extended amount of times. And when they come together, it does not work.
Mm,
So,
That's
yeah,
something different.
yeah.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Reggie. All right, here we go. I told him, let me get your phone. I need to see your phone. You can take my phone. Let me get the password to your phone. And I want to see who you've been texting and communicating with. Is that toxic or not?
Yes,
That's toxic.
that's toxic. The non-toxic alternative is can I have your password? You can have my password. Let's have this, what they call that app that lets you know where you are and all that stuff for safety. If
On
I
a
need you,
location.
whatever, this is it, yeah. And I think that that's toxic because it shows no trust. Now, if in a situation where trust was broken,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Now in my mind, for reestablishing of trust, I think we need to do that. Okay, it's toxic because there's no trust.
Toxic because there's
Trust
no
is
trust.
broken, right? It's always gonna be that. It's always gonna be this. I don't trust you. Some people are able to let go
Mm-hmm.
of what has transpired, whether it be cheating, cheating, lying, financial irresponsibility, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And some people are able to work on that and get over it and reestablish trust, and some people are not.
But what if that's the person is building trust? Like, hey, the guy's like, hey, yeah, take my phone, sure, no problem. Oh my god, like I can really trust you. I really wasn't gonna even do it. I don't feel a need to do it now because you just said, hey, yeah, let me get your phone. You can use my phone. So that's like showing, hey, I got you. Where I respect you. I'm not hiding anything from you. Here's my phone. That's fine.
Let me see your phone
Mm-hmm.
because I need to see who you're texting and sending pictures to.
Mm-hmm.
Toxic. Let me see your phone so we can switch passwords and whatever, however you want to word it.
Mhm.
Not, I need to know who you texting.
Reginald says that's only a wifey privilege. Only
That's nice.
okay. All right. What you think about if you're dating long? I think at that point, do you think that people should be able to? I mean, yes, you have your own passport. Yes, you want to have privacy, but if there's no trust, it all boils down to trust.
It does.
Yeah, it all boils.
Years of dating,
Mhm.
you would be going somewhere to husband fee privilege.
If all right, here we go. Um, I told my partner that I could be with someone else who's hotter, but I stay with you because you're loyal and just honest. Or am I toxic? Hey, I could be with somebody else, but you're an honest guy, and I really like you, and I love you. But just know that I could be with somebody else. Is that toxic or
So
not?
toxic. So toxic. Because that is such a threat.
It's a threat, an indirect, subtle, passive threat.
Yes,
Mhm.
most definitely. Let's
Mhm.
call it what it is. You're threatening that you could leave me.
But no, but you're honest. But you're so loyal. I love that. You, you're gonna
Garbage.
take away the second part and keep the first.
Garbage. That honesty and loyalty part is just to placate the fact that you insulted me by telling me that I could be with somebody else. You're basically saying I could be with somebody else. I don't have to be with you. Oh, come on. Talk about stabbing the heart and the knife in the back.
Mm,
That's just hurtful.
yeah.
You're not supposed to have a harsh word to me. You love me.
Mhm.
Yes, I'm honest and I'm loyal. That's good. But you don't love me? You just up and leave me? Because you
Mhm.
could be with somebody else. Wait, we forgot the most important part. Who's hotter?
Yeah. Who's hotter?
Who's hotter?
Oh
But she won't be loyal to me or be honest with me, and that's why I'm staying with you.
we have a comment. Lisa said, so they're settling then. Ouch. Ah.
Yeah, a stab to the heart and a knife in the back. Okay.
I'm just settling with you right now. Is that good for that person? Reginald said, good guys finish last. Oh, come on, Mr. Reggie.
You don't have
No.
to. You just look for the good girls who have not been hurt too bad, or if they have been hurt, they fixed it.
Stephen with a thesis? Let's see what the
Yes,
thesis
Stephen has a
says.
comment. I love it. We're gonna have you on the show. You'll see. I guess there is so much untrust, and the old fashioned way of being very familiar with the person from the neighborhood is not really happening anymore. So it feels like strangers are meeting for the first time at a first date, and both men and women are normally trying to impress. So it takes a long time before you actually see the real person, manner, and character.
There you go. Stephen, you're supposed to call in.
Nice point. Thank you, Stephen.
Thank you, Stephen. All right. One more, and then we gotta go. Okay. One more. All right. There's two more. I mentally track. Who puts in more effort. I call twice, and I expect you to call me twice too. Balance matters. Toxic or not?
Toxic.
Toxic.
Balance does matter,
Mhm.
but in a relationship,
Mhm.
a committed relationship, you
Mhm.
should not be keeping score.
Mm.
And that's all I'm going to say about that.
Okay. No scores.
You should not be keeping score. And to be honest, you will not have to keep score, the man or the woman,
Mhm.
if you both really truly love each other and don't want to do anything to hurt each other and have taken the steps to know what it is that you like and what you need.
Mhm. Yeah. And first of
I
all,
think.
true. If I'm calling you two times, why are you not answering the phone after like You should be. What was going on? Where are you at? Why are you not answering the phone?
Trust.
Now I'm not gonna trust you because you're not answering me, right? All right. I mean, hey.
Oh,
All right. Let's see. One more. One more. One more.
I like these.
Whenever we fight, I bring up my past drama or incidents from what happened even up to a year. But some say I need to let it go. Toxic or not? You remember you did this last time. And that was
Yeah.
6 months ago.
My friend Deborah
Mm-hmm.
Farrington is not on today, but I
No.
remember a long time ago we had a talk on the Positive Forces show about baggage.
Yes.
That is a baggage. And that's all I have to say. That is a baggage.
Okay.
It's toxic.
That's
Oh,
toxic.
need to let that go.
Mm.
You can't always bring up these things in fights.
But how about if the man or the woman keeps doing the same thing? Like,
What do you mean?
How do you not bring it up? If it, like, okay, well, but this happened before 6 months ago, and but this happened the last time. You don't want to bring it up, but it happened before, and it's now there's a pattern. Maybe now you can look at it, but like every 3 months this happens, or the last time you said this wasn't going to happen when this situation arises. So it may appear as if I'm bringing it up all the time, but every time this particular question or situation arises, the same thing occurs again. So still
Let it
toxic.
go.
Let it go.
Mhm.
It matters if it's a pattern of bad behavior. Thank you, Lisa. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Your guy cheated on you.
Mm.
You can't let it go.
Mm-mm.
You keep bringing it up.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to work.
No.
I'm sorry. That I think is a perfect example.
Mm-hmm.
Is either you say, "Look, I cannot get over that you cheated on me,"
Mm-hmm.
and you be done with it.
Mm-hmm.
Or, but if you decide that you're going to stay with someone that cheated on you,
Mm-hmm.
you can't keep bringing it up. If you
Mhm.
know you're going to keep bringing it up, then you need to go get some help for that.
Mm.
There has to be some point where you actually forgive that person
Mhm.
mentally, spiritually, physically. You forgive that person, and there has to be a lot of trust for you, for not only for you trusting that person, but for that person to say, "Oh my God, look how much I hurt my person.
Do you
I'm not
forgive?
going to do it again." Now, if you were the serial cheater,
Mm.
sorry, ladies,
Mm.
he can't help it. He can't help it. So if you're going cheating 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times,
Mm.
and we have to be able to take responsibility for our part in that scenario, in those scenarios.
Okay. Lisa said, but if he's still acting suspect, then the pattern of behavior cannot be ignored.
Exactly.
Ding,
I
ding,
agree
ding,
with
ding,
you.
ding,
I
ding,
agree
ding.
with you, Lisa,
Yeah.
my girl.
All right.
I agree with you, Lisa.
Mm-hmm.
That is what's called a serial cheater.
Serial cheater. All right.
He's
That's it.
cheating on you.
Final thoughts. I have so much more, but final thoughts. You got to we'll
Final
next time.
thoughts. We have so much. Okay, so this is the part that I hate, you guys. You know that I do. I say this every single time that we're on. We do the show. This is the part that I like the least because I love, love, love chopping it up with you guys. I love chopping it up with Kimmy Kim, Kimon Hall, the hostess with the mostest, and I just love talking with you guys.
Yes.
So, I think my final thought is, let's talk.
Mm.
Let's talk to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk to people.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk to our neighbors. Let's learn how to talk. Simply communicate
Yeah.
in a loving, simple way without ulterior motives,
Mm-hmm.
without expectations.
Mm-hmm.
Just simple talking.
Mm.
Let's try that. That's my final thought.
On first dates.
Doesn't matter.
Simple talk. Simple
Simple
talk,
talk.
complex talk. Guys, just talk.
Yeah.
And make sure what you talk about makes sense. And make sure that whenever you talk, you use your time wisely. Guys, life is short. All right. And everybody wants to be with the right person. And everybody wants their person if they want a person. right? If you want a person, you want the right person.
Yeah.
Nobody really wants to waste time with anybody else. Be yourself. Do not go on any dates with your representative. Leave your representative
Tell the
home.
representative to stay at home.
At home. Leave your representative at home and be you. People, please be yourself. Be you. Be authentically you. That's all I got. Be yourself. Next time, same place, Positive Forces Show, each and every weekend. Guys, we're here. We love you. Thanks for being with us. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Like and share the broadcast. YouTubesradio.com, reggaeglobalradio.com. Family, we love you. Take care. Bye bye. Big up yourself.
Be yourself, because somebody might just like your authentic self.
Thanks, Hill. Bless you.